Yeah, band is such, it's not just about the music. It's also something that you feel at home with, make a community is, for a lot of people, it's their social circle. And you mentioned specifically about teaching that you use band and music to get to kids nowadays and to teach them how to be accountable and how to have integrity and all these great character traits. So is that, I guess, something that you were taught in your high school experience that made you want to stick with being a music educator, to kind of pass down the torch to the next generation?
I don't know if I was taught that. I went to an extremely competitive high school at Cedar Park, and I marched in some very, very good drum corps, and I also went to a really great university. And I think I was always the kid that wasn't the music kid. I wasn't the kid that I didn't know all the excerpts. I didn't know all the shows. I wasn't interested in that part of it. What I liked about band was the teamwork aspect. I loved playing, I liked being a part of the group. And I think I developed into a music kid as I went through college. And as as a teacher, and I think all teachers can see this, is you teach every type of kid in the high school. And if you're only focused on teaching the kids who are the music kid, and you're not focused on, okay, well, what is this program supposed to be? You end up losing kids. And, my whole goal as a teacher is that the band hall is where kids truly belong, not just a place for them to hang out, but that even if a kid maybe they don't have a lot of friends in band, they still feel comfortable there and they still feel like they have a place. They don't have to be great at what they do, but they need to feel included. And I like to use music and band and all the things, there's a leadership part of it. There's the marching band part. You have all these different ways to get to kids, and using those parts to get kids to buy in and be a part of this thing that's bigger than them and in some pretty tough high school situations.
Exactly. So specifically your marching band program, y'all were last year's Texas State marching band, champion. I know that y'all won BOA a couple years ago. Would you say, obviously there is the music element into it, but would you say creating those experiences, fostering the leadership skills is what helps make your band program so successful?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many different things that make a program successful. I think there's a lot of luck involved in that too. You never know what the show is going to be or how the kids are going to respond to it. And the staff is a big part of that, but I think it's definitely a part of building that quality, if you will, program. It's definitely not something we talk about. We don't talk about winning. We don't talk about going to contests. We've been really fortunate in the past 5, 6, 7 years that we've always done very well, and there's going to come a year where we don't. And what I hope is that the students, they're allowed to be disappointed, of course, but I hope that they don't leave that situation thinking that they were failures or like they let us down. I hope they leave maybe a little disappointed, but also as teachers, us doing a great job of lifting them up and teaching them that it's about more than just winning or losing.
Right. Yeah, and I think you make a really interesting point. As someone who came from a very small high school, we used to look up to schools like Vandegrift and all the big names out there and thinking that they were very structured, very all about competitiveness and competition. But it's really nice to hear that at the end of the day, we're all just kind of the same. Like we all come from, we're all still kids. We're all still, passionate about different things outside of band. And I really enjoy that, like you said, that it's not about, as successful as the program is, it's not about winning and it's not about competitive. There really is, like you said, the leadership factor, the character building skills into actual human beings when they become adults and go on to the real world. So I really like that. Another thing I found out about you was you were in Yamaha's 40 Under 40, which was really, really cool to see. And there's a quote that you said that said, "This year, after our students finished their last performance, I experienced one of the proudest moments as an educator." What exactly did you mean by that?
To be honest, I'm not sure what that's referring to. But I know in the past couple of years, and I think this might be true for most young teachers, is when you're just starting out, when you're just getting your feet under you, there's a lot of focus on competition. There's a lot of focus on the winning. And I know for me, it took quite a few years to get past always viewing each performance through this lens of, was it good or was it bad? Are we going to win or are we going to lose? And kind of after 2019 and really getting through COVID and realizing that there's more to it than that, every time I view a performance now, I of course still see it through that lens, and you're like, oh, I wish what was that? You still see that with marching band, with concert, you're like, what, who played that note? You still have that moment, but I definitely don't take for granted their performances anymore, and especially when you start realizing that they're kids and that you leave the field, as a conductor, you're just pretending to be in charge, and you hope that they want you to be a part of their performance with you, but you're not really. So every time a group of young people performs, whether they're high school kids or they're drum corps kids, it always allows me now to step back and remember that this is a gift, and that that this product, this show, this performance that they're giving is truly a gift for everyone. And whether we are the best, whether we are the worst, it matters, of course. Of course, there's a competitive aspect that matters, but it doesn't matter in that they've come together and created this incredible performance for others to view and to enjoy that will never happen again. And it's only possible with every single person on that stage or on that field. So I hope that young teachers, if you're listening, that you remember that, because it's something that took me a long time to learn and to appreciate those performances. And again, I think COVID had a lot to do with that, is when you don't get to do that, when you don't get to see kids have that experience, you start to remember, you should say, you remember and realize just how special that is.